his own physical fitness first, which is fair. You know, you got to respect that. He played for a decent few years. He was really good this year. He was a big part of the Chicago offensive line turnaround that made that team so successful this year. But they all of a sudden had a bit of a hole to fill after Dahlman retired. Another tag was placed. The Indianapolis Colts placed their transition tag on Daniel Jones. They're going to continue to look to sign a contract with him, but right now, his agents and the Colts negotiating team are very far apart on coming to a deal. The Colts made an offer. Jones's team said that he wanted a multi-year deal worth $50 million a year, which, coming from a Giants fan, don't do that because he's going to suck the second that you do. I can't believe that his agents are still trying to barter for that much money. I mean, it's really unbelievable that he still thinks he can get that kind of contract after what happened the first time. Up next, first cut, a big one actually. Arizona officially cut quarterback Kyler Murray. He is a free agent and can be signed by anyone. No restrictions placed on him, but that is a big change for the Cardinals there. The quarterback that they drafted first overall is now gone. I do think that Murray still has potential to be a good starting quarterback. I think that those couple of seasons where the Cardinals had like a crazy good record by midseason, I think they were 8-0 at one point, Murray really showed how good he can be, and the fact that he is so fast and has that dual threat to him makes him so valuable. So, a little spoiler alert, he still hasn't been signed by anybody, which I can't believe. I really thought that the Jets or some QB needy team was going to go out there and get Kyler Murray, but I stand corrected. I will say I'm not going to be able to cover everything as much because I have so much to go over. So much has happened, you guys don't even understand. Next cut, the New York Giants cut Bobby Okereke. Didn't want it to happen, but it's a cap casualty. It had to. The Chargers plan to cut Mekhi Becton after signing him to a multi-year contract just last year. Yeah, he sucked. He was awful. That entire offensive line was terrible. It's one of the main reasons why they were never able to get anything going on offense. Then the first big trade. Now, there are plenty of these, including a pretty substantial one, which I will get to in a bit. But the first of the big trades is that the Kansas City Chiefs traded Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams gave up pick 29, a 5th, a 6th, and a 3rd round pick. And then the Rams signed McDuffie to a 4-year, $124 million contract with $100 million guaranteed. So LA locks down their corner. That was their biggest need heading into the offseason. I talked about how they could go Avion Terrell in the draft. They very well still may end up going corner. But they locked down a true number one of the best corners in the league. And they still have a high first-round pick. Because if you remember, the pick that became James Pierce Jr., which, bad trade, Atlanta. But the pick that became him was Atlanta trading up with the Rams. So the Rams have Atlanta's first-round pick. They're picking in the top 20. And they traded pick 29 because it's a late first-round pick. They were able to give up with it. They had the draft capital. So that is just an example of some amazing management by Stan Kroenke and the GM of the Rams, everyone there. Because the fact that they were able to pretty much get McDuffie for free when you think about it, because they traded back, got all the draft capital that they needed from the Falcons trade, and then used that capital to get McDuffie. They turned their trade into one of the best corners in the league. So I love that. I think that is an amazing move by the Rams, and they're starting to look very, very scary. The next cut, the New England Patriots cut Stephon Diggs, which was really surprising to me. That was a 1-year experiment that I really thought would have continued for longer. I mean, he was good this year, but I mean, a lot of issues off the field probably contributed to it, and Patriots eventually cut him. The Atlanta Falcons cut longtime veteran Darnell Mooney. He's going to have a couple of suitors as a veteran guy in free agency. The next trade, this trade I really like. The Chicago Bears traded DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills for a 2nd-round pick. Buffalo also picked up a 5th-round pick in that trade. I love this trade. You get Josh Allen as wide receiver 1. I think DJ Moore has such high upside, especially working with Josh. I love this trade. I think that they finally got him his wide receiver 1, the first one since Stephon Diggs, and pairing him up with an already good offense that has James Cook, Khalil Shakir, and Dalton Kincaid is going to give Josh Allen so many options. I'm very excited to watch the Bills this year. A coaching hiring, which, wow, makes no sense. The 49ers hired Matt Eberflus as the assistant head coach of defense. What? Like, at least teams are smart enough to not give Shane Bowen another job. How does Matt Eberflus keep getting hired? What dirt does he have on the NFL that allows him to continue to have a job? Because I do not know, man. The fact that he led one of the worst defenses of all time and still found a way to be employed by the next season is incredible to me. Next re-signing of the offseason, the one that kicks off this show, the LA Rams re-signed Tyler Higbee to a 2-year, $8 million deal, so they locked down their very long-time veteran tight end. He was on their Super Bowl team. He was actually on the Super Bowl team in Super Bowl 51. Yeah, against the Patriots. The Houston Texans signed Danielle Hunter. Wow, this I really don't get. The Houston Texans signed Danielle Hunter to a 1-year, $40.1 million fully guaranteed contract. So they really are going, this is their season in their eyes. They're going all in to make sure that Danielle Hunter stays. Because I guarantee you, if they tried giving him like a 3-year, $30 million deal, he wouldn't have signed. I don't think he would have signed. So, first of all, greedy from Danielle Hunter, but I get it. Second of all, they're going to go in all in this year. I think that we're going to see a lot more from Houston as we approach the draft and in the draft. Because, I mean, a 1-year, $40 million deal is the definition of a win-it-now deal. So they're going to do more. Watch for the Texans to do more this offseason. The Chicago Bears cut Tremaine Edmunds, and then once free agency opened up, Tremaine Edmunds signed a 3-year, $36 million deal with your New York Football Giants. Let's go, dude! I'm so happy about this signing. The Giants have had such a good free agency so far, and I will get over it when we get there. But let's go. We cut Okereke, and we replace him with someone of the same, if not better caliber. For cheaper, too. Tremaine Edmunds is a phenomenal signing. I'm so happy that we got him. Love that. That is 1-for-1 for the Giants. The Rams made another re-signing. They re-signed safety Cameron Curl to a 3-year deal worth up to $39 million. And the Rams are another team where it really seems like they are investing into the team that they have right now. They feel like the unit that they are currently fielding is the one that is going to take them all the way. And I mean, I don't blame them. It took them to the championship game, and they just added Trent McDuffie to that team. So they're going to look to retain their players. They're going to make a couple more signings, maybe at corner, somewhere else on defense, maybe get a couple offensive linemen. I could definitely see there being some more signings for the Rams, and the draft is definitely going to mean a lot, especially having such a high pick. But they are already a set team in my eyes. They have a very good roster. Heading on to the next set of news, the Las Vegas Raiders, cut Geno Smith, which I think everyone saw coming. I don't think there was a universe where he wasn't cut, but it is what it is. Geno is going to look to find a new job, and funnily enough, I don't know how many of you saw this, but Wendy's, yes, the fast food corporation, actually tweeted out offering Geno Smith a job if he didn't get a contract, which is so disrespectful, but I'm all here for it. The next re-signing, the New England Patriots re-signed Tommy DeVito to a 2-year, $7.4 million extension. I hate that guy. I know, as a Giants fan, saying I hate Tommy DeVito is probably a little weird, but when we played the Patriots this year, he was talking so much smack, so much unnecessary smack for the team that literally gave him a chance at a career. Like, you were an undrafted rookie quarterback, bro. You were our third string. We very well could have went with someone else or signed someone else. But no, we gave you a chance. Now you have a career, and his first reaction is to crap talk us. So you know what? Go to hell. Go to hell, Tommy. The Miami Dolphins cut fullback Alec Ingold and kicker Jason Sanders. So we're going to see a little bit of change from their special teams unit. I do think that is the least of the Miami Dolphins' worries, their special teams unit. But hey, you do you, boo. The Buffalo Bills were going to cut cornerback Taron Johnson, but they found a trade partner and traded him to the Las Vegas Raiders. They traded Johnson and a 7th for a 6th-round pick from Las Vegas, and the Raiders made a lot of movement. I really like... Okay, before we even get into the rest of it, if I had to rank my top 3 free agencies, it's probably the Raiders, the Titans, and the Giants. Which is hilarious because they also all have such high picks. The Rams have also had a very good free agency. I give them their credit too. But the Titans, the Raiders, and the Giants have all made so many moves that all better their team. It really was a good free agency day one for those 3 teams. And I'm excited to see what they do today. I mean, the Giants already made another move today. There's more moves happening right now. I'm probably not even going to get to everything. There might not even be a soccer segment. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There is so much. Up next, The Buffalo Bills made a couple other cuts. Like I said last week, cap casualties. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see it. And they unfortunately had to release Curtis Samuel and Taylor Rapp to help free up a little more cap space. This is a bit of an interesting one. The Detroit Lions agreed to cut Taylor Decker by his request after contract talks broke down. That's a really bad look. I don't think people realize how bad of a look that is, that you try to negotiate with one of your longest tenured players, one of your best players, probably their best offensive lineman, and contract talks fall through so poorly that before his contract is up, he requests to be released. That's really bad. That is a bad look for the Detroit Lions. Some team is going to get very lucky and land themselves a very good offensive tackle. More news coming out of the NFC North. The Green Bay Packers were expected to cut Rashawn Gary if no trade partner was found, but they eventually traded him to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th-round pick. Now, that may sound all normal, but ladies and gentlemen, what other team would trade a 4th-round pick for a guy that's about to be cut other than the Dallas Cowboys? Good job, Jerry. You're really showing them. You're really going all in. You're trading a 4th for a guy that was going to get cut anyway. Good job, man. I don't think it's a bad trade. I don't think Rashawn Gary is bad, but I think a 4th for a guy that was going to get cut regardless is insane. Insane to me. You could get so much value from your 4th-round pick, and I feel like people don't realize it. The later round picks go very underappreciated, but some of the best players in the league today and in general were late-round picks. Puka Nacua was a late-round pick. Kyron Williams was a late-round pick. The Rams go over and do that a ton. There's been so many late-round picks that have flourished in this league, and I mean the greatest football player of all time, Tom Brady, was a late-round pick. So I feel like people undervalue late-round picks so much, and giving up a 4th for a guy that's gonna be available anyway is ridiculous to me. The Commanders signed Treylon Burks to a 1-year, $4 million deal. Good for him. I feel like he had a lot of pressure coming out of college because he was the A.J. Brown replacement, and he dealt with a ton of injuries. He wasn't the best in general, but he made a really good catch last year, so let's give him a deal. No, I think that he could be a solid option for the Commanders, but realistically, the only reason he got this contract is because of that one-handed catch he made against the Broncos. Next bit of news. The Houston Texans cut Joe Mixon, which we all saw coming. He was injured all season, and they just traded for David Montgomery. Minnesota center Ryan Kelly retires. That's a little less shocking than Dahlman. Kelly, he's a vet. He's been in the league for a while. It makes sense. But now the Vikings also have a hole at center. The Bears found a way to fix that hole very quickly. They traded for New England center, they traded for New England center Garrett Bradbury. They traded a 5th-round pick for Bradbury. Solid trade. I do think it's a downgrade, but anything's going to be a downgrade from a 27 superstar center. I mean, they're really just getting a guy that can placehold until they have an actual option. Dahlman retiring was not expected. So I'm fine with that. I like that deal. The Texans re-signed tight end Dalton Schultz to a 1-year, $12.6 million deal and another 1-year deal from the Texans. I feel like, okay, in all fairness, another part of it definitely is that they're going to have to re-sign C.J. Stroud soon, and they're going to need some sort of cap space. No matter how bad C.J. Stroud may have been, they're going to need the cap space to re-sign him. He's going to command a lot of money. So it's smart. It's smart. Now, with that being said, we're going to go into our first set of underwriting announcements. Do not worry. We still have so much to go over once we are back. If you build it, our Rider Bronx will devour it, introducing the contents that will cement your legacy at Rider University forever. Announcing 1077 The Bronx first ever Build the Ultimate Bronkwich competition. Be the Bronc who creates Rider's new signature sandwich to be served at Muller's Pub and on the Yo Cuz Yellow Food Trailer, and we'll send you and a guest on a Royal Caribbean for 2 to the Bahamas from Josh Harry Travel. However you slice it, this contest eats Bronx. Go to 1077thebronx.com/buildabronkwich for details on how you can enter to win. We'll be back with more Football Squared after these underwriting announcements on your 3-time 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Award winner, 1077 The Bronx.
Okay, it looks like we've landed on what the Earthlings call a college campus.
The mothership gave us voice changers. Turn yours on.
Excellent. Now we blend in with the humans. We just need clothing to become undetectable.
Our frequency spike was strongest near 1077. The humans kept saying 1077 The Bronx. Something about their general store where they get the coolest merch in the game and support the music and shows they love.
I don't quite know what that means. Try beaming over a cellular communication device. The humans are so attractive attracted to. There you can search for this fabled The Bronx General Store at 1077thebronx.com/shopthebronx.
Great Xanthaleer. Look at all they have to offer. Polos, hats, sweatshirts, drinking receptacles, shirts. So many colors, too. They even have tie-dye.
There are eco-friendly options. How noble of them. Order 2 of everything. We must support the Bronx. We'll be the talk of the galaxy with how fresh we look, as the humans say.
I wish we found 1077 The Bronx General Store 1,847 conquering quests ago. We would have looked so good.
1077 The Bronx campus traditions are underwritten in part by SGA, Rider University Student Government Association.
Hello?
Hi, SGA spring elections are now open, and as a member of the student body, we're asking all Bronx to cast their vote.
Lead by example and vote for our new SGA board, who will take charge in guiding the writer community. All positions are officially open for you to apply. These positions include student body president, college senator, vice president for class connections, among so many others. SGA spring elections are the perfect opportunity to get involved with the writer community and advocating what's best for your fellow Bronx. Voting opens March 23rd and closes April 8th to vote for your next
yard equipment. Keystone Blood Center. It only takes a few minutes to help save a life, but those few minutes can help save the life of someone in need, maybe someone you know. Make your appointment today at Miller Keystone Blood Center, located at TCNJ's campus town. To donate blood, platelets, plasma, and more, call 800-BA-DONOR. That's 800-
or by following Ryder Dining on Instagram at Ryder_eats.
Mark your calendars. 1077 The Bronx Excellent Egg Hunt is on its way. Join us on the Campus Mall on Tuesday, March 31st at 11 a.m. to experience the event the Bronx won Best Giveaway for the 2025 IBS Media Awards. Don't forget, there are 10,000 eggs, 20,000 pieces of candy, and a chance to win so many cool prizes, including our biggest and most iconic prize, a 3 or 4 night Royal Caribbean cruise for 2 to the Bahamas, provided by Josh Harry Travel. For more details, including a list of other activities and bites to eat, go to 1077thebronx.com/egghunt. Welcome back to Football Squared on the Princeton Review's number 18th ranked best college radio station, 1077 The Bronx. So welcome back, everybody. Not a lot of time left, obviously, but we're going to try and get through as much as we can. Like I said, the Giants made some re-signings. They brought back Isaiah Hodgins on a 1-year, $1.1 million deal, which that is a very good signing. I am a big Isaiah Hodgins fan. I think he's a very solid receiver. And then we bring back Jermaine Illuminor for 3 years, $39 million deal. And I love that re-signing. He was great as a complement to Andrew Thomas at right tackle. And getting back a guy that's familiar with the system and wants to be here, that's the most important thing to me. Illuminor has been so vocal on how much love he has for the Giants and how happy he is to be here. And he's been so vocal on Twitter about everything involving the team. It's just nice to have a guy back that actually wants to be here, you know? So I'm really glad that we got back both a good personality and a great player on the field. Tampa Bay made a splash at linebacker. They signed Alex Anzalone to a 2-year, $17 million deal. Oh, God, I feel old thinking about like when Anzalone was back on the Dolphins, man. Okay, I'm going to not think about that. But yeah, that's a solid signing for the Bucs. Anzalone is definitely still a good linebacker, and just getting a veteran guy that can be that veteran presence in the locker room is going to be good for that team. Up next, another punter. New Orleans signed former Vikings punter Ryan Wright to a 4-year, $14 million deal. I mean, it's a punter. I don't have much to say about that. It's a punter. Solid signing. He's a good punter. The Patriots signed former Bills fullback Reggie Gilliam to a 3-year, $12 million deal with $6 million of that guaranteed. God, the Patriots have a lot of Bills, don't they? Like, I'm really thinking about it, and they've gone after a lot of former Bills in the past few years. I mean, it's kind of funny. There's some teams that do that. There are some teams that do that. I know that when we had Dable, the Giants were big on getting all the Buffalo Bills scraps as well. Now that the Titans have Dable, they're getting the Giants scraps, which they're not scraps. I'm really going to miss the guys that they got, but I'll get over that when we get there. It's really sad. I'm not going to lie, but we'll get there. The Commanders signed former Lions corner Amik Robertson to a 2-year, $17 million deal. Depth piece. They needed help on defense. Amik Robertson provides them that. He's not going to be a superstar, but it's a solid pickup. The Chicago Bears signed former Seahawks safety Kobe Bryant to a 3-year, $40 million deal, which, again, they just lost Jaquan Brisker. They need to bring in a safety. Makes sense. That's a good signing for them. The Bears defense is going to be different, that's for sure, especially after losing Edmonds and Brisker, but I still think it's going to be good. I like the Bears a lot. I like where they're going. This is the beginning of it. The Tennessee Titans signed Daniel Bellinger, former Giants tight end, to a 3-year, $24 million deal. That one really sucks. I really liked Belly. Thank you for everything on the Giants, Daniel, and I wish you best of luck in Tennessee. The Lions, they get a center too. A lot of center changing in the NFC North. They get center Cade Mays, formerly of the Carolina Panthers, on a 3-year, $25 million deal. The Colts signed Nick Folk to a 2-year deal with an undisclosed amount of money. Probably just the vet minimum. The guy's like 42. A little big signing here, just to, throw in the middle of everything. The Raiders just casually go ahead and sign Tyler Linderbaum for 3 years, $81 million. I'm telling you, the Raiders had such a good offseason. I am very excited to see what they can do with Mendoza. However, I don't think that they should start Mendoza right out of the draft. Just in general, I think that starting a rookie right out of the draft is a terrible idea. Just an awful idea. Get a veteran, throw him in for like 3 or 4 games, and then transition to Mendoza. That's what we did with Dart. That worked out pretty damn well, if I do say so myself. Do that with Mendoza. The next signing, after keeping James Conner and obviously still having Trey Benson, the Cardinals add to their running back room and signed Tyler Algier for a 2-year, $12.25 million deal. That's kind of unnecessary. I'm not going to lie. You have Benson, you have Connor. I feel like Algier is better than the both of them. I don't know if that's just me, but I mean, I mean, that wouldn't make it unnecessary. That was dumb. Don't listen to me. That's a good signing. I like that signing. He's there. He should be their starter. If Algier isn't the Cardinals starter, then it's a dumb signing. There we go. I got there. If the Cardinals don't even start Algier and they still run like a running back tandem, I don't get the signing. But if you have him be your main guy while rotating in and out Benson and Connor, then I get it. Then it's a good signing. But if he's not going to be your main guy, why? Why would you even pay for him? Another running back signing, a bigger one. The Saints signed Travis Etienne to a 4-year, $52 million deal. Now, the first thing I thought when I saw that was, wow, 4 years. I feel like that's long. You don't really see a lot of more than 3-year deals when it comes to running backs. Now, granted, Etienne's young. He still has a lot of potential. He showed a lot of flashes in Jacksonville. And I like this signing a lot. Now, granted, it does mean that Alvin Kamara's time in New Orleans is probably over. And it also means... Well, actually, no, it doesn't mean they're not going to draft Jeremiah Love because the Lions signed David Montgomery and then drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. So who knows? That honestly very well could be what they're doing. They sign Etienne, they get rid of Kamara, and then they draft Jeremiah Love. That would be sick. Etienne and Love would be awesome together. That would be really cool to watch. And then we get to the bad one. This is what I'm going to close out the show this week with. There is still one more Giants loss that kind of bummed me out, but... Wan'Dale Robinson is officially a Tennessee Titan. Titans got him on a 4-year, $78 million deal. He got the money he deserved, and the worst part is it was the right option. I know it was the right option because the money that we could have signed Robinson with went towards getting Likely and Tremaine Edmonds. So, as much as I hate it, as much as I loved Wan'Dale, and I really wanted us to re-sign him and I wanted him to stay, it's a very deep wide receiver class, so I get it. I think we made the right decision. Only time will tell, but I'm going to miss Wan'Dale so much. He was so reliable. He is the best slot receiver in the league. Tennessee, treat him well. I know that you guys will because you got Dable. That really bums me out, though, man. That sucks. All right, well, bye, Wan'Dale. Thank you for everything you did for the Giants. You carried us in a lot of moments. Not even just this past season when Leak was down injured. It was really great having him on the team, but unfortunately, you got to move on. So that will cover it for this week. That is part 1 of free agency. Now, there is still so much to go over. There are still so many signings, many trades, many re-signings, many cuts. So make sure to tune in next week. Every Tuesday from 10 to 11, we are live streaming now from the studio. And make sure to tune back in next week because we still have so much free agency to cover. That's it for this show. Thank you all for watching Football Squared. Stay tuned for more of the biggest hits and the best variety on the Princeton Review's number 18th best college radio station, 3-time 2026 IBS Media Award winner, and 5-time NAB Marconi Radio Award nominee for Best College Radio Station of the Year. 107.7 The Bronx and 107.7thebronx.com. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you next week for Free Agency Part 2.
From the studios of Rider University, this is 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC-FM.